Most teachings about manifestation follow a forward path. You are told again and again, visualize your goals, imagine them. Vividly, feel the emotions, and then one day you will attract what you desire. It is a message repeated by countless books, coaches, and spiritual leaders. They tell you to see every detail of your dream life, to imagine your perfect relationship, your overflowing bank account, your radiant health. They encourage you to close your eyes, breathe deeply, and feel as if you already have it. Perhaps you have done this faithfully, spending hours each day with affirmations, vision boards, and endless imagination. And yet, if you are honest with yourself, there is still a gap. Something feels slightly out of reach, as though you are chasing shadows that keep slipping away. This is where most people get stuck, and this is the point where quantum manifestation turns the entire process upside down. The uncomfortable truth is that when you constantly visualize your dream as something in the future, you actually reinforce the distance between yourself and what you want. Every time you try harder to feel abundant, if at your core you still believe it is coming someday, then the energy you broadcast to the quantum field is one of lack. You are signaling separation rather than unity, waiting rather than being. And the universe, acting as a flawless mirror of your state, reflects exactly that back to you. More waiting, more distance, more longing. Traditional manifestation techniques keep many people trapped in this loop because they mistake desire for alignment. But, from the perspective of the quantum field, desire whispers, "I don't yet have it," while outcome declares, "It is already mine." That is the radical shift quantum manifestation invites you to embody. Think of it not as imagining a possible future, but as stepping directly into the completed outcome now. Instead of asking, "How do I get there?" you begin by declaring, "I am already here." This is not mere positive thinking, nor is it wishful pretending. It is a deliberate energetic alignment that collapses every other possibility. Quantum physics supports this understanding. The famous double-slit experiment revealed that particles behave differently when observed, demonstrating that consciousness itself plays a role in shaping reality. Studies on retrocausality suggest that future states can influence the past, bending our ordinary sense of time. In this light, the past, present, and future are not separate compartments but interwoven possibilities waiting for consciousness to decide. The instant you embody your chosen outcome, the field reorganizes. You are no longer a seeker of abundance, you are abundance embodied. To make this more tangible, picture yourself watching a movie from the very end. You already know how it concludes. The hero triumphs, the problem resolves. The story finds harmony. Now, as you watch earlier scenes, you are not anxious about whether things will work out. You carry the certainty of the ending. That certainty changes your entire experience of the narrative. Quantum manifestation works in exactly the same way. By anchoring yourself in the outcome first, you erase doubt. Urgency dissolves. Anxiety about the unknown fades. You are not waiting for resolution. You are living from it. That shift in frequency is the secret most manifestation teachings overlook. It is not about trying to feel something that is not yet real. It is about inhabiting the reality where it is already done. So, how do apply this practically? The key is to stop visualizing from the outside as though you are watching your dream happen on a screen. Instead, enter the dream from within. Ask yourself, if this outcome were already real, what would I naturally be thinking right now? What decisions would feel easy? How would my energy express itself in daily life? What would my body feel like, my nervous system, my breath? When you practice this, you notice an immediate change. Your body relaxes, your mind quiets, your emotions stabilize. And, most importantly, your quantum broadcast shifts. You are no longer signaling the vibration of lack, you are radiating coherence and completeness. You are no longer chasing alignment. You are being alignment. Here lies the paradox, and it is a beautiful one. The moment you stop needing your desire to appear, it begins to appear. When you release the urgency of timing because you are already immersed in the feeling of having it, manifestation accelerates. The quantum field does not respond to effort, but to congruence. It does not care about how hard you want something. It responds to who you are being. And when who you are being matches the outcome you claim, the universe mirrors it without resistance. This is not effortful creation. This is elegant resonance. The true power of quantum manifestation lies not in striving harder, but in embodying more deeply. Notice how this changes your relationship with desire. Desire keeps you stretching, reaching, waiting. Outcome places you in presence, gratitude, and sufficiency. Desire is a future-based signal. Outcome is a present-tense embodiment. When you begin to live in this way, your external world reorganizes itself almost effortlessly. Opportunities that once felt blocked appear out of nowhere. Relationships shift into harmony. Finances, health, and creative expression unfold in ways you could not have scripted. The beauty is that you are no longer attached to proof. You no longer demand external validation because you already carry the inner state of completion. And because reality reflects coherence, the external naturally mirrors the internal. This is why quantum manifestation is so misunderstood. It is not about wanting something badly enough or pretending until you trick yourself into believing. It is about reversing the direction of creation. Instead of moving toward your dreams, you move backward from them. You start at the end and let the rest of life rearrange itself to match. Once you experience this shift, you realize how profoundly simple it is. Not complicated, not mystical in the sense of being unreachable, but elegant, scientific, and spiritual all at once. Quantum manifestation is both the poetry of consciousness and the mathematics of energy. It does not require strain. It requires congruence. It does not demand belief in the future. It asks for embodiment of the now. And when you live from that state, miracles cease to be surprises. They become inevitabilities of the timeline you already occupy. And once you finally grasp this shift, you'll never want to manifest any other way again. Because here's a question worth asking. Why do some people seem to manifest effortlessly, almost as if miracles are drawn to them like iron to a magnet, while others spend years chasing every course technique and affirmation under the sun? Yet with little to show for it. The difference isn't luck. It isn't because some souls are more spiritual or more gifted, and it certainly isn't because they're doing more grinding harder or pushing longer. The surprising, counterintuitive truth is that those who manifest with ease have learned the art of doing less. They've uncovered a subtle but powerful shift in the way they relate to their desires, goals, and dreams. They are no longer trapped in the endless loop of wanting. They are living from the frequency of already having. You see, the traditional teachings of manifestation often direct you to declare, "I want abundance. I want success. I want the perfect relationship." At first glance, this seems harmless. But hidden inside that simple phrase is the seed of lack. Each time you say, "I want," you broadcast to the universe the truth that you do not yet have. You unconsciously affirm absence. You are energetically confirming again and again, "I'm still waiting." And because the quantum field mirrors your dominant state with impeccable precision, it reflects that signal right back. If your vibration is wanting, you are met with more experiences of wanting. The dream remains just out of reach, tantalizing, but never fully here. This is why so many seekers grow weary. They affirm endlessly, visualize tirelessly, yet the gap remains. But here's the paradox that quantum manifestation reveals: the universe does not give you what you want. It gives you what you are. Think about that. If your emotional body is saturated with longing, if your nervous system is vibrating with the ache of not yet, then the field responds faithfully with echoes of incompleteness. But when you step into the opposite approach, when you shift from lack to presence, from wishing to embodying, you unlock the true mechanics of creation. For here is the profound truth now echoed by both ancient mystics and modern physics. Every outcome, every dream, Every version of your life already exists within the quantum field as pure potential. You are not inventing from nothing. You are aligning with what already is. You are not writing the story line by line. You are choosing the volume that has always existed, taking it off the shelf of the cosmic library and stepping inside. Let's imagine this library together. Every possible book of your life sits neatly upon the shelves. Some are filled with ordinary events. Others contain extraordinary adventures. Some are short, some are long, but all are complete. To manifest is not to write the book word by word. It is to walk into the library, stretch out your hand, and pick the volume that already holds your desired ending. You open its pages, you breathe its atmosphere, you feel its reality now. This simple yet radical shift changes everything. Because once you assume the book is already written, you no longer grasp or push. You simply begin reading from the middle, confident in the ending you have chosen. This is what backward manifestation means. Instead of striving toward what you desire, you collapse into the energy of already having. Instead of affirming, "I lack," you declare, "Through your very being I am," and the quantum field, true to its mirroring nature, reflects that state immediately. It is not superstition. It is not fantasy. It is resonance, coherence, and physics. At the subatomic level, reality is not fixed. Time does not move in a straight line. Experiments such as the double slit have shown us that observation changes outcomes. Studies in retrocausality suggest that future states influence the past. In other words, all possibilities exist simultaneously, and consciousness is the selector. You do not build reality brick by brick. You choose it, you embody it, and the wave collapses into form. Now, pause and consider the individuals who manifest effortlessly are not anxiously striving. They are not pushing against life. They are calm. They are relaxed. They appear almost indifferent to outcomes, yet everything they need flows to them. Why? Because forcing implies doubt, and doubt creates resistance. Resistance delays manifestation. Those who embody quantum manifestation have internalized the truth that nothing needs to be forced. They do not try to make things happen. They align with the version of themselves where things already have happened. And as coherence settles into their nervous system, the universe rearranges itself without struggle. This is why they appear magnetic, why miracles seem to chase them down. It is not luck, it is alignment. Let this truth land deeply in your heart. Your manifestation ability has nothing to do with how hard you work, how many vision boards you create, or how intensely you strive. It has everything to do with your alignment to the end state. It is not about effort. It is about congruence. It is about ceasing to reinforce lack and choosing instead to stabilize your vibration in completion. When you assume the outcome with such total conviction that your emotional state no longer wavers, the universe has no choice but to match it. Reality must mirror coherence. It is law, not chance. And that realization alone can liberate you forever. What this means practically is that you no longer need to chase your dreams from urgency or desperation. You no longer need to prove yourself worthy or battle endlessly to force outcomes into being. Instead, you step into the identity of the self that already possesses what you seek. You allow that state of being to radiate through your thoughts, emotions, and actions. And in doing so, you collapse the wave of possibility into certainty. Life itself begins to respond differently. Opportunities appear where doors once seemed closed. Relationships shift into harmony without effort. Health abundance and creativity rise to meet you in ways that defy linear logic. Because you have ceased to be the seeker, you have become the embodiment. This is not theory, it is quantum reality. At the smallest scales of existence, all potential states coexist. Every possible version of your life is alive as possibility right now. You are not required to invent or labor to bring them into being. You are invited to choose. You are invited to align. You are invited to embody. And once you do, manifestation ceases to be a distant dream. It becomes the most natural expression of who you are. This is the essence of backward creation. This is the key to effortless manifestation, and once it is embodied, you will never return to the exhausting chase of the old paradigm again. The first crucial shift is this: you must move from wanting to being. Step 1 opens the door, but Step 2 transforms everything. You are invited to completely identify with your chosen reality. Not as a hope, not as a dream, but as your present identity. Instead of affirming, "I want to be wealthy," you anchor into the statement, "I am already wealthy." Instead of repeating hollow words, you allow those words to resonate in your body as truth. You feel them in your chest in the way your breath softens and the way your shoulders relax. Notice how your posture naturally adjusts when you accept this reality as complete. It is not about pretending. It is not about tricking yourself into false belief. It is about anchoring yourself in the emotional and energetic coherence of the outcome you have already chosen. In this shift, your nervous system reorganizes itself, your neural pathways fire in new patterns, and your entire body becomes a living broadcast of confidence, fulfillment, and gratitude. And these are precisely the signals the quantum field responds to with unmatched clarity. Take a moment and try it now. Choose one reality that you are ready to embody. Feel it not as potential, but as truth. Notice the emotions that arise: gratitude, relief, freedom, satisfaction. Linger with those feelings. Let them become your inner atmosphere. Do not rush this. This moment is where quantum reality crystallizes. It is here in the embodiment of emotion that you choose your timeline. You do not create the reality later. You establish it now within your field, and watch as physical reality bends to match. This is why quantum manifestation is never about force. It is about resonance. It is not about pushing matter. It is about aligning vibration. Then comes Step 3, surrender. This is where many people struggle because letting go feels unnatural to a mind trained to control. Yet surrender is where the magic truly begins. You must release your grip on the how and the when. Stop demanding specific paths, methods, or timelines. The quantum field, infinitely intelligent, requires freedom to orchestrate the details. When you attempt to micromanage outcomes, you narrow infinite possibility into limited expectation. Letting go reopens the space. The how has never been your responsibility. Your only role is coherence and alignment. The field does the rest. Think of this process like planting a seed. You place it gently into the soil, you water the ground, you give it light. But you do not dig it up each day to check on its progress. You trust nature's intelligence. You allow the unseen to do its perfect work. Manifestation functions exactly the same way. The seed of your chosen reality has already been planted the moment you embodied it. Your task is to nurture the environment with trust, to resist the temptation of control, to replace anxiety with openness and urgency with curiosity. When you do, you stop blocking the flow with resistance. You make room for synchronicities, unexpected solutions, sudden opportunities, and effortless miracles to arrive. It may sound too simple, but the universe itself is elegant simplicity. Quantum manifestation bypasses traditional effort precisely because it does not require physical force. It requires coherence. It requires surrender. When your inner frequency is stabilized in your chosen outcome, and when you release your attachment to how it unfolds, you collapse the infinite into form. Your new timeline materializes with astonishing grace. This is the secret that shifts manifestation from struggle into artistry. Here is a practical way to train this daily. Each morning, before you even step out of bed, feel your chosen reality as if it were already fact. Say silently to yourself, "I am already living this reality." Then, imagine how your day naturally unfolds from that state. What decisions flow with ease? How do conversations shift? What kind of energy radiates from you effortlessly? Spend just a few minutes here. Then let it go. Release it fully. Walk into your day carrying certainty, not urgency. When doubt rises, you do not need to recreate the emotion with force. Simply remind yourself it is already done. A brief reconnection to certainty is enough. Then move forward with quiet expectation, knowing the orchestration is happening perfectly behind the scenes. With practice, this way of being becomes your baseline. You grow less reactive. You become magnetic. Life begins to flow with you instead of against you. Opportunities arise seemingly out of nowhere. Relationships deepen without striving. Problems dissolve without struggle. Because you are no longer radiating anxiety or desperation, you are radiating trust. And the quantum field always precise mirrors your coherence faithfully. This is why life begins to feel effortless when you surrender. The universe does not require your control. It requires your alignment. Does this sound revolutionary? It should, because it overturns everything you've been taught. Yet, it is also deeply scientific. At the quantum level, effort and force matter far less than observation and state of being. Every potential outcome already exists simultaneously waiting for collapse into reality. You are not building from scratch. You are selecting from what already is. Your greatest task is not to strive harder, but to embody more deeply. Not to do more, but to be more. Think back to your own life. Recall those moments when something extraordinary happened only after you finally stopped trying. Perhaps it was meeting someone who changed everything at a time when you had given up searching. Perhaps it was landing the opportunity you had long desired only when you stopped forcing. Or maybe it was a sudden burst of inspiration arriving precisely when you surrendered your obsession with timing. At the moment, you may have called it coincidence, luck, or divine timing. But what if it was none of those? What if it was simply the quantum field responding to your release? This is the turning point. The quantum reversal, the space where logic bows to trust and control, dissolves into alignment. Every time you truly let go, you are already practicing the essence of quantum manifestation. Every time you stopped forcing, the universe had room to deliver. Every time you chose being over, doing your reality reorganized with ease. Now you have language for what you always sensed. The power lies not in striving, but in surrender. Not in wanting, but in embodying. This is the profound simplicity of the quantum path. You stopped pushing against the river. Instead, you finally allowed it to carry you, and this is the secret most people overlook. The quantum field does not respond to force. It responds to resonance. It does not bend because you demand it. It aligns because you are aligned. We have been conditioned to believe that effort equals results, that striving is the path to progress. Yet the most miraculous transformations do not come through strain. They arrive when you release, relax, and allow your inner state to harmonize with what already exists. When your nervous system whispers, "I already have it," the outer world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match. That is not fantasy. It is coherence. The physics of alignment. The science of surrender. This is why this very moment is so powerful. You are no longer waiting to someday understand manifestation. You are no longer consuming these words as mere theory. You are embodying them here now in your body, in your breath, in your frequency. Your cells are listening. Your vibration is shifting. The field is already responding to this subtle but profound choice, the choice to stop forcing and start aligning. That is not simply a decision, it is a frequency shift. It is the point where you step out of the loop of desire and into the reality of embodiment. So let's ground this shift right here. Take a moment to declare it. Say it, write it, feel it. I am ready to manifest backwards. Not as empty words, but as a living transmission. When you make that declaration with sincerity, you send a vibrational signal into the field. You step into the identity of the self who already receives. This is more than affirmation. This is resonance. You are no longer broadcasting lack. You are radiating coherence. And coherence is what the universe responds to with impeccable precision. Remember this truth. The quantum field does not require your effort. It requires your frequency. Every act of aligned intention, whether it's a declaration of breath or a moment of genuine gratitude, ripples out into the fabric of reality in ways you cannot see. And those ripples return to you magnified. That is why surrender is not weakness. It is the most powerful signal you can send. In the next stage, we will dive into a lesser-known yet profoundly effective technique called backcasting. This is not a gimmick. It is a timeline technology, a quantum hack that can collapse years of striving into moments of alignment. If you have ever wondered why some people manifest consistently while others struggle endlessly, the difference often comes down to this one practice. What comes next may be the missing key you have been seeking all along. Because you did not arrive here by accident. You were guided by resonance drawn by frequency called to remember. Deep down, you already know the truth. Manifestation is not about chasing harder. It is about aligning deeper. It is not about convincing the universe to give you what you want. It is about embodying the version of yourself who already has it. That is not theory. It is a shift in state. And the moment you invert the flow, moving from desire into being, the universe must respond differently. You are no longer asking. You are collapsing timelines. You are no longer requesting. You are embodying inevitability. The quantum field does not yield to pressure or urgency. It responds only to coherence. And now you see how profoundly simple this is. The more you embody the reality of already having, the faster the field reflects it back. This is the true spiritual work. Not in doing more, but in being more. Not in chasing, but in embodying. And if you can feel these words activating something within you, know that you are already tuning to the new frequency. Never forget, the universe is not waiting for you to exhaust yourself with effort. It is waiting for you to stabilize your state. The field is not persuaded by anxiety. It is magnetized by alignment. Your future is not far away. It already exists in the eternal now. You have tuned into it today, and from this moment forward you carry the resonance that collapses possibility into reality.